Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Numbers 4 to 9, Proverbs 24, and Psalm 91. Let's get started. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Take a census of the sons of Korath from among the sons of Levi, by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, all who can come on duty to do the work in the tent of meeting. This is the service of the sons of Korath in the tent of meeting, the most holy things. And the camp is to set out. Aaron and his sons shall go in and take down the veil of the screen and cover the ark of the testimony with it. Then they shall put on it a covering of goat skin, and spread on top of that a cloth all of blue. And they shall put in its poles. And over the table of the bread of the presence they shall spread a cloth of blue offering. The regular showbread also shall be on it. And they shall spread over them a cloth of scarlet, and over the cover the same with a covering of goat skin. And they shall put in its poles. And they shall take a cloth of blue and cover the lampstand before the light with its lamps and its tongs, its trays, and all the vessels of oil with which it is supplied. And they shall put it with all its utensils in a covering of goat skin, and put it on the carrying frame. And over the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of goat skin, and shall put in its poles. And they shall take all the vessels of the service that are used in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them with a covering of goat skin, and put them on the carrying frame. And they shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread a purple cloth over it. And they shall put on it all the utensils of the altar, which are used for the service there, the fire pans, the forks, the shovels, and the basins, all the utensils of the altar. And they shall spread on it a covering of goat skin, and shall put in its poles. And when Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the furnishings of the sanctuary, as the camp sets out, after that the sons of Korath shall come to carry these. They must not touch the holy things, lest they die. These are the things things of the tent of meeting that the sons of Korath are to carry. And Eleazar the son of Aaron, the priest, shall have charge of the oil for the light, and the fragrant incense, and the regular grain offering, and the anointing oil, with oversight of the whole tabernacle and all that is in it, of the sanctuary and its vessels. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Let not the tribe of the clans of the Korathites be destroyed from among the Levites, that deal thus with them, that they may live and not die, when they come near to the most holy things. And their sons shall go and appoint them to each to his task and to his burden, and they shall not go in to look on the holy things even for a moment, lest they die. The Lord spake to Moses, saying, Take a census of the sons of Gershon also, by their fathers' houses and by their clans, from 30 years old up to 50 years old. You shall list them all who can come to do duty, to do service in the tent of meeting. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites, in serving and bearing burdens. They shall carry the curtains of the tabernacle and the tent of meeting, with its covering and the covering of the goat skin that is on top of it, and the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the hangings of the court, and the screen for the entrance of the gate of the court that is around the tabernacle and the altar, and their cords and all the equipment for their service. And they shall do all that needs to be done with regard to them. And all the service of the sons of the Gershonites shall be at the command of Aaron and his sons, in all that they are to carry, and in all that they have to do. And you shall assign to their charge all that they are to carry. This is the service of the clans of the sons of the Gershonites in the tent of meeting. And their guard duty is to be under the direction of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. And as for the sons of Merari, you shall list them by their clans and their fathers' houses. From 30 years old up to 50 years old you shall list them, everyone who can come on duty, to do the service of the tent of meeting. And this is what they are charged to carry, as their whole of their service in the tent of meeting, the frames of their tabernacle, and with its bars, pillars, and bases, and the pillars around the core with their bases, pegs, and cords, with all their equipment and all their accessories. They shall list by name the objects that they are required to carry. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Merari. This is the whole of their service in the tent of meeting, under the direction of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. And Moses and Aaron and the chiefs of the congregation listed the sons of the Korathites by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. And those listed by clans were 2,750. This was the list of the clans of the Korathites, always served in the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. Those listed of the sons of Gershon by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. Those listed by their clans and their fathers' houses were 2,630. This was the list of the clans of the sons of Gershon, all who served in the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord. Those listed of the clans of the sons of Merari by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. For those listed by clan were 3,200. This was the list of the clans of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. All those who were listed of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the chiefs of Israel listed, by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come to do the service of ministry and the service of bearing burdens in the tent of meeting. Those listed were 8,580. According to the commandment of the Lord through Moses, they were listed, each one with his task of serving or carrying. Thus they were listed by him, as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the people of Israel that they put out of the camp everyone who is leprous, or as a discharge, and everyone who is unclean through contact with the dead. You shall put out both male and female, bringing them outside the camp, that they may not defile their camp, in the midst of which I dwell. And the people of Israel did so, and put them outside the camp, as the Lord said to Moses, so that the people of Israel did. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, when a man or woman commits any of the sins that people commit by breaking faith with the Lord, and that person realizes his guilt, he shall confess the sin that he has committed, and he shall make full restitution for his wrong, adding a fifth of it and giving it to him to whom he did the wrong. And if the man has no next of kin to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, the restitution for wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest, in addition to the ram of atonement with which atonement is made for him. And every contribution, all the holy donations of the people of Israel, which they bring to the priest, shall be his. Each one shall keep his holy donations. Whatever anyone gives to the priest shall be his. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel. If any man's wife goes astray and breaks faith with them, if a man lies with her sexually, and is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and she is undetected though she is defiled herself, and there is no witness against her, since she was not taken in the act. And if the spirit of jealousy comes over him, and he is jealous of his wife who has defiled herself, or if the spirit of jealousy comes over him, and he is jealous of his wife, though she is not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and bring the offering required of her, a tenth of an ephah of barley flour. You shall pour no oil on it, and put no frankincense on it, for it is a grain offering of jealousy, a grain offering of remembrance, bringing the iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthenware vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle, and put it on the water, into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and unbind the hair of the woman's hair, and place in her hands the grain offering of remembrance, which is the grain offering of jealousy. And in his hand the priest shall have the water of bitterness that brings the curse. And the priest shall make her take an oath, saying, If no man has lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to uncleanness while you were under your husband's authority, be free from this water of bitterness that brings the curse. But if you have gone astray, and though you are under your husband's authority, and if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has lain with you, then the Lord will make you a curse and an oath among your people. Then the Lord make your thigh fall away, and your body swell. May this water that brings the curse pass into your bowels, and make your wound swell, and your thigh fall away. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and wash them off into the water of bitterness. And you shall make the woman drink the water of bitterness that brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain. And the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the grain offering before the Lord, and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the grain offering as its memorial portion, and burn it on the altar, and afterwards shall make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then if she is defiled herself and has broken faith with her husband, the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain, and her womb shall swell, and her thigh shall fall away, and the woman shall become a curse among her people. And if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive children. This is the law in cases of jealousy, when a wife, though under her husband's authority, goes astray and defils herself. Or when the spirit of jealousy comes over a man, and he is jealous of his wife, then he shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall carry out for her all this law. The man shall be free from iniquity, but the woman shall bear her iniquity. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Say to the people of Israel, and say to them, when either a man or a woman makes a special vow, the vow of a Nazarite, to separate himself to the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. He shall drink no vinegar made from wine or strong drink, and shall not drink any juice of grapes, or eat grapes, fresh or dry. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine, not even the seeds or the skins. All the days of his vow of separation no razor shall touch his head, until the time is completed for which he separates himself to the Lord. He shall be holy. He shall let the locks of his hair on his head grow long. All the days that he separates himself to the Lord he shall not go near a dead body, not even for his father, for his mother, her brother or sister. If they die, shall he make himself unclean, because his separation to God is on his head. All the days of his separation he is holy to the Lord. And if any man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defils his consecrated head, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the seventh day he shall shave it. On the eighth day he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons to the priest to the entrance of the tent of meeting. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him, because he sinned by reason of the dead body. And he shall consecrate his head that same day, and separate himself to the Lord for the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb a year old for a guilt offering. That the previous period shall be void, because the separation was fulfilled. And this was the law for the Nazarite. When the time of his separation has been completed, he shall be brought to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and he shall bring his gift to the Lord: 1 male lamb a year old without blemish for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb a year old without blemish as a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, loaves of fine flour mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers smeared with oil, and their grain offering and their drink offering. And their priest shall bring them before the Lord, and offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. And they shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord, with the basket of unleavened bread. And the priest shall offer also its grain offering and its drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave his consecrated head at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take the hair from his consecrated head and put it on the fire, as under the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the shoulder of the ram when it is born, and 1 unleavened loaf out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them on the hands of the Nazarite, after he has shaved the hair of his consecration. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. They are a holy portion for the priest, together with the breast that is waved, and the thigh that is contributed. And after that the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite. If he vows an offering to the Lord above his Nazarite vow, as he can afford, in exact accordance with the vow that he takes, then he shall do in addition to the law of the Nazarite. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, Thus you shall bless the people of Israel. And you shall say to me, The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So shall they put my name upon the people of Israel, and I will bless them. On the day when Moses had finished setting up the tabernacle, and had anointed and consecrated it with all its furnishings, and had anointed and consecrated the altar with all its utensils, the chiefs of Israel, the heads of their fathers' houses, who were the chiefs of the tribes, who were over those who were listed, approached and brought their offerings before the Lord: 6 wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for every 2 of the chiefs, and for each one an ox. And he brought them before the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, Accept these from them, that they may be used in the service of the tent of meeting. And gave them to the Levites, to each man according to his service. So Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them to the Levites, 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave to the sons of Merari, according to their service. And under the direction of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. But to the sons of Kohath he gave none, because they were charged with the service of the holy things that had to be carried on the shoulder. And the chiefs offered offerings for the dedication of the altar on the day it was anointed. And the chiefs offered their offering before the altar. And the Lord said to Moses, they shall offer their offerings, 1 chief each day, for the dedication of the altar. He offered his offering the first day was Nashon the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mixed with oil for a grain offering. 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nashon the son of Amminadab. On the 2nd day, Nethanel the son of Zuar, who was the chief of Issachar, made an offering. He offered for his offering 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering. 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering. And for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nethanel the son of Zuar. On the 3rd day, Eliab the son of Helon, the chief of the people of Salem, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering. And 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliab the son of Helon. On the 4th day, Eleazar the son of Shador, the chief of the people of Reuben, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering. 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eleazar the son of Shador. On the 5th day, Shelemiah the son of Zurishaddai, the chief of the people of Simeon, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Shelemiah the son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph the son of Deuel, the chief of the people of Gad, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph the son of Deuel. On the 7th day, Elishama the son of Ammihud, the chief of the people of Ephraim, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama the son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gamaliel the son of Pedazur, the chief of the people of Manasseh, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel the son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abida the son of Gideoni, the chief of the people of Benjamin, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin and 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Abida the son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahijah the son of Ammishaddai, the chief of the people of Dan, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin and 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull mixed with 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahijah the son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel the son of Ochran, the chief of the people of Asher, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Pagiel the son of Ochran. On the 12th day, Ahira the son of Enan, the chief of the people of Naphtali, his offering was 1 silver plate, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver basin, 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahira the son of Enan. This was the dedication offering for the altar on the day when it was anointed from the chiefs of Israel, 12 silver plates, 12 silver basins, 12 golden dishes, each silver plate weighing 130 shekels, and each basin 70. All the silver of the vessels, 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The 12 golden dishes full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the dishes being 120 shekels. All the cattle for the burnt offering, 12 bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs a year old, with a grain offering, and 12 male goats for a sin offering. And all the cattle for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 24 bulls. The rams 60, the male goats 60, the male lambs a year old 60. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. And then Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord. He heard the voice speaking to him from above the mercy seat that was on the ark of the testimony, from between the two cherubim, and it spoke to him. Now the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Say to Aaron and say to him, when you set the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand. And when Aaron did so, he set up his lamps in front of the lampstand, as the Lord commanded Moses. And this was the workmanship of the lampstand, hammered work of God, from its base to its flowers. It was hammered work, according to the pattern that the Lord had shown Moses. So he made the lampstand. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the people of Israel and cleanse them. Thus you shall do to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle the water of purification upon them, and let them go with a razor over all their body, and wash their clothes and cleanse themselves. And let them take a bull from the herd and its grain offering, of fine flour mixed with oil. And you shall take another bull from the herd for a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tent of meeting, and assemble the whole congregation of the people of Israel. When you bring the Levites before the people of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites, and Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord as a wave offering from the people of Israel, that they may do the service of the Lord. And then the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, and shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering to the Lord to make atonement for the Levites. And he shall set the Levites before Aaron and his sons, and he shall offer them as a wave offering to the Lord. Thus he shall separate the Levites from among the people of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that the Levites shall go and serve at the tent of meeting. When you cleanse them and offer them as wave offering, for they are wholly given to me from among the people of Israel. Instead of all who open the womb, the firstborn of all the people of Israel, I have taken them for myself. Of all the firstborn among the people of Israel are mine, both of man and of beast. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated them for myself. And I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the people of Israel, to do the service for the people of Israel at the tent of meeting, and to make atonement for the people of Israel, that there may be no plague among the people of Israel, when the people of Israel come near the sanctuary. Thus did Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the people of Israel to the Levites, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. The people of Israel did too, and the Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes. Then Aaron offered them as a wave offering before the Lord, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of meeting before Aaron and his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. And so they did too. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, This applies to the Levites. From 25 years old and upward they shall come to do duty in the service of the tent of meeting. And from the age of 50 years they shall withdraw from the duty of the service and serve no more. They minister to their brothers in the tent of meeting by keeping guard, but they shall do no service. And thus you shall do to the Levite in assigning their duties. And the Lord spake to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year after they had come out from the land of Egypt, saying, Let the people of Israel keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight you shall keep at appointed time, according to all its statutes. The statutes and all its rules you shall keep it. So Moses told the people of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of that month, at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the people of Israel did. And there were certain men who were unclean through touching a dead body, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and Aaron on that day. And those men said to him, We are unclean through touching a dead body. And when are we kept from bearing the Lord's offering at its appointed time among the people of Israel? And Moses said to him, Wait, that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to the people of Israel, saying, If one of you or your descendants is unclean through touching a dead body, or is on a long journey, you shall keep the Passover to the Lord. In the second month of the 14th day at twilight they shall keep. They shall eat with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any of its bones. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall keep it. But if anyone who is clean and is not on a journey fails to keep the Passover, that person shall be cut off from his people, because he did not bring the Lord's offering at its appointed time. That man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger sojourns among you, and would keep the Passover to the Lord, according to the statute of the Passover, and according to its rules, so shall he do. You shall have one statute, both for the sojourner and for the native. On the day that this tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, and at evening it was over the tabernacle, like the appearance of fire until morning. And so it was always. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud lifted from over the tent, and after that the people of Israel set out, and in the place where the cloud settled down, where the people of Israel camped, and at the command of the Lord the people of Israel set out. And at the command of the Lord they camped. And as long as the cloud rested over the tabernacle, they remained in camp. Even when the cloud continued over the tabernacle many days, the people of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle, and according to the command of the Lord they remained in the camp. And according to the command of the Lord they set out. and did. And sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning. And when the cloud lifted in the morning, they said, or if it continued for a day and night, and the cloud lifted, they said, whether it was 2 days or a month or a longer time, and the cloud continued over the tabernacle abidingly. The people of Israel remained in camp and did not set out. But when it was lifted, they set out. At the command of the Lord they came, and at the command of the Lord they set out. And he kept the charge of the Lord at the command of the Lord by Moses. Proverbs 24. Be not envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their hearts devise violence, and their lips talk of trouble. By wisdom their house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge its rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is full of strength, and a man of knowledge enhances his mind. For by wise guidance you can wage a war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. Wisdom is too high for a fool. In the gate he does not open his mouth. Whoever plans to do evil will be called a schemer. The devising of folly is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to mankind. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. If you say, behold, we did not know this, does not he who wears the harp perceive it? Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And we will not repay man according to his work. My son, eat honey, for it is good, and the drippings of the honeycomb are sweet to your taste. And that wisdom is such to your soul. If you find it, there will be a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Lie not in wait as a wicked man against the dwelling of the righteous. Do no violence to his son, for the righteous falls 7 times and rises again. The wicked stumble in times of calamity. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and let not your heart be glad when he stumbles. Lest the Lord see and be displeased, and turn away his anger from him. Fret not yourself because of evil dogs, and be not envious because of the wicked, for the evil man has no future. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king, and do not join with those who do otherwise, for disaster will rise suddenly from them, and who knows, the ruin will come from them both. And these are sayings of the wise. Partiality in judging is not good. Whoever says to the wicked, you are right, will be cursed by peoples, and abhorred by nations. But those who rebuke the wicked will have joy, then a good blessing will come upon them. Whoever gives an honest answer kisses the lips. Prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that build your house. Do not witness against your neighbor without cause, and do not deceive him. Deceive with your lips. Do not say, I'll do to him as he has done to me. I'll pay the man back for what he has done. And I passed by the field of a slug, and by the vineyard of a man lacking sense. And behold, it was all overgrown with thorns, and the ground was covered with nettles, and a stone wall was broken down. Then I saw and considered. I looked and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of the hands to rest. And poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man. Psalm 91. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide from the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, and my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague will come near your tent. But he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest they strike your foot against the stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him, because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Now this done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as you also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.